Welcome to 10 Meaningful Minutes. My name is Laurie and LaComb. I'm the Healthy Schools Coordinator in Douglas County School District. And it is so good to be back with you. Aaron Ragon, our lead counselor. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. It's like one of the few vestiges of normalcy, you know? As we do everything remotely through the computer, so it's great to just be in the same room and to record this again.
I know the last time we did do it remotely, you had quite a beard. And,
I went a little crazy with the beard.
A little COVID beard.
Yeah, my wife was really patient with it.
Oh, good.
She never told me to shave it.
So
I think she knows the strategy.
Yep.
Let him get sick of it and then he'll do it himself, so.
We were talking about maybe sharing some of our life stories today.
Yeah, and I think in light of all the tumult and everything going on, we thought that it might be nice to start with a light kind of theme.
Well, I think you might remember this last summer I was supposed to go to India for 3 weeks on a teacher program, like an educator program, and that got canceled. And while I was going to be in India, my husband had planned a trip to go hike across Rocky Mountain National Park. So I was, kind of sad, I would say, a little disappointed that I wasn't, it was all for the best, but I was like, so Paul, can I join you? Can I hitchhike on this with you? And he's like, oh yeah. In fact, let's bring the kids. And I thought, oh God, you want to bring our kids? So we decided, let's ask the kids. And 2 out of our 4 kids at home decided, we want to do this with you. So this is an 18-mile hike across the park. You get dropped off at Bear Lake and you end up at Grand Lake. Now, just a little backstory, we are not hiking family. We don't really camp that much, but you have to hike in with all your stuff and then you have to camp there with nothing, and then you will hike out. So we did some practice hikes. We got up to about 8 miles total before we actually hit the trail. When you hike deep into the depths of Rocky Mountain, you truly see why it is a national park. So we got dropped off. It was a little chaotic and a little dramatic at first because we couldn't get in. And finally, my daughter, who dropped us off at a porta potty. We put on our bags and we started hiking. And you hike up and you get to this. There's just no trees. It's just all you can see are white rocks everywhere. And they have these piles of rocks to tell you you're going the right way. It's so cool. So you're walking. There's all these marmots they come up right near you and they're like, who are you? Why are you here? Needless to say, within 1.5 miles, we go, okay, so how far have we hiked? We thought it was 4 miles by now. My husband's like, we've been gone 1.5 miles. I look at the kids and we kind of gave each other that look. But we're like, we're not turning back. We are not turning back. So we get up, we get to these, above the tree line. It was so beautiful, Aaron. My daughter had 2 blisters by the time we're halfway up, and my son, you have to constantly feed him. So we were going through our snacks really fast, and we got to this part where after all those white rocks, all you see it's just green, so green for Colorado. Little rivers, little waterfalls, elk everywhere, and wildflowers everywhere. And you're just traversing down, and you're just going in and out of this. And it was so stinking beautiful. We stopped by a river to snack with this huge bull elk on the other side of the river, and we just watched each other the whole time. Got to the campsite pretty late. It took us 3 extra hours. Got there, my son fell asleep before we even ate. And then we got through it. We woke up the next morning, we hiked out, and right before we got to the end, we sat down, because every 30 minutes we put on a timer. You have to drink water and you have to eat a snack. And this last stop, we all look around and my kids are like, I'm so happy we did that. I feel so good. I can't believe I could do that. I could not believe and we put the hands in the middle and we hugged and we're like, well, we probably got about another hour, and we literally turned around the corner and our daughter was waiting for us in the car. We didn't know we were that close to the end. So it was an unexpected trip, and it was probably the best trip I've taken in a long, long time.
Great story.
Thank you. How about you?
All right, so this story is from when I was in college. It was 1994, and I was in my second semester abroad in Nepal.
Okay.
And I had gone in the fall semester of 1993 as a student, and I returned to help run the program the following fall. I have this old friend named Aaron. We've been best friends since 4th grade. And he expressed an interest in coming and joining the group for this kind of culminating experience where we do a month-long trek around Annapurna. We do some high-altitude research through the University of Colorado. I was able to negotiate for my friend to come and join us. We had all acclimated to living in Nepal, but Aaron, having just arrived, his stomach was not accustomed to being there. And so we start hiking, and he's a little bit sick. He's had some gastrointestinal stuff. And over the course of 2 weeks, it gets progressively worse to the point that he could barely eat. And at one point, he had to stop walking. So we held up the progress of the whole group. I was really worried about my friend Aaron, and I was really worried about the fact that his illness had stopped the progress of this group. You know, we're on this month-long itinerary. We start a conversation about an evacuation. He's losing weight, he's dehydrated, we're running out of medicine, which we had brought, because he's taking it all. It was just a really bad and stressful situation. And so we put a plan together where 3 porters would carry him several miles down the trail. 2 of them would carry him at a time, they would switch off, and there's an airstrip where they bring in a helicopter to fly him out.
Amazing.
And it's like this really rugged, beautiful terrain. You know, you're surrounded by like the highest mountains in the world, but the nearest road was like a 2-week walk. We finalized plans to evacuate him, go to sleep that night in our tents. I get up early the next morning and I'm having a cup of tea, talking with Wanchu Sherpa, who's the Sherpa who would oversee everything. These guys are logistical geniuses, just amazing. And so I said to Wanchu, well, I guess we should make preparations to evacuate Aaron. And he said, oh, Aaron Dye, you don't need to worry. He's gonna be fine. I said, what do you mean? Aaron Dye, one of the porters, had a dream last night. And in the dream, it was revealed to him that he will be healed this morning. And I fully expect this to be the case. So I don't think we have to evacuate him. And I thought, really? Very skeptical. An American, things like this just don't happen. And so I went back to the tent and I watched him sleep for about 20 minutes. I waited for him to wake up, and when he woke up, he saw me staring at him. This awkward moment between friends, you know, and I said, how are you feeling? And he said, you know, I feel kind of better. I think I can eat breakfast. So I watched him eat breakfast, and it must have been really uncomfortable for him because I was, you know, staring at him, and he ate his breakfast, and then he didn't need to go to the bathroom, and I said, do you think you can walk today? And he said, you know, I think I can. And so he did. He walked slowly, but he walked. And he kept up with the group. And then the next day, he walked faster. And he was fine. The dream was accurate.
Wow.
So I love that story for several reasons. And it's one of those things that could almost only happen someplace like Nepal, I think. The other thing about it, and kind of the bigger takeaway for me in reflecting on that, is that it's only when we encounter adversity that we have the opportunity to grow a story like this and to have the satisfaction in facing a real challenge and having it be okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that is very relevant to the time we're in now with so much going on. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to share today.
I love it. I think we're going to have a lot of post-COVID stories. I can't wait to hear what our kids are going to tell us.
Right.
What was their perspective? of it all, like getting 5 years out, 10 years out, so.
And I also think this will be something our grandchildren ask us about.
Yes, I think you're right.
Because these stories will go into lore,
Yep.
COVID lore.
So I think we've exceeded our 10 minutes for 10
We have.
Every second worth it though. So thanks for joining us, our listeners. We hope you come back again.
Thanks for joining us.